Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Those who have subscribed, thank you, as I always say. Those who are just tuning in, welcome. My name is Kendra, but you can call me Ken. I create videos on my lifestyle, how-tos, DIYs, life hacks, and so much more. So if you like this video, please remember to give me a big thumbs up and subscribe and join the family. So for today's video, I want to talk about the pros and cons, or my pros and cons of bullet journaling, aka Bujo. So before I get into that, let me explain what bullet journaling is. If you're new to it, it is a system created by Ryder Carroll, and it's pretty much to help others track their past, organize their present, and then plan for the future. So pretty much it's like a planner / journal all in one. So it consists of an index. It has future logs, monthly logs, weekly logs, daily logs, and then various collections such as mood trackers, habit trackers, gratitude log, brain dump, and the list goes on. It could be whatever what you want it to be, but it's made to help you in your productivity and also just organize your thoughts. So I found it very helpful, and that's why I wanted to share with you guys on my pros and cons of it. And if you're trying to get into it, just be aware of why I like it so much, but also be aware of what it can the cons. Okay, the cons. We don't want to talk about it, but we have to. Okay, so let's get into the cons, because you guys know I love to get these out the way and end off the video with the pros. Okay, all right, so getting into the cons, I have my phone with me today because I can't be remembering things. Okay, so if y'all see me looking down, I am on my phone. So all right, so for the first con, it is time consuming, and I would say it's time consuming if you let it. Just like with anything else, you need to plan, but the reason why I say time consuming is a con is because you have to set up your entire bullet journal pretty much. So every month you'll have maybe a theme if you want. It's not required, but for me, I want to be creative. So when I start looking on Pinterest or Instagram and so on, I find inspiration and I start trying to figure out what theme I want to go with. And sometimes it takes some time because I'm really trying to be creative, but I'm not a drawer. I'm not an artist, so it takes time for me to set up my bullet journal, and that can take away from it being productive. So I would say just be mindful of the time when you're trying to set up your journal. And then the last con that I have, it is that it can be overwhelming. The sun is not giving. I might have to start. Intermission. The sun is going. Okay, so the second con, sorry. The second con that I have is that it can be overwhelming. And that's only if you let it. Now, I say that it could be overwhelming because some months I'm not really feeling, trying to be creative or anything. And in my head, I feel like I should be creative. Or if I don't, another example, if I don't finish my habit tracker, like if I don't fill it in for the entire month, I feel like I failed, and that could be overwhelming. And this bullet journal is not made to be overwhelmed. It is supposed to help you and your productivity and organizing and everything in your life. It's supposed to help you. And if it's overwhelming, that's not a good thing. And that's why I say if you let it. So if you don't open up your book every day, if you don't fill it out entirely, it is okay. But if you're like me and sometimes get anxious and overwhelmed, then it can be. So just keep that in mind if you're trying to get into bullet journaling, especially as a beginner. You see a lot of things online and you want to use them as an inspiration, but it becomes too much. So I would say just be mindful of that and don't let it overwhelm you. So yeah. Okay, so now let's get into the pros, the good stuff, on why I like bullet journaling. The very first one is that everything is in one book. So I think I touched base a little bit on it in the beginning, and it just makes sense to have everything together. For me, I used to write literally anything that comes to my mind. If it was something I had to do, if it was something important, I would literally just write down. I'll grab a piece of paper or whatever's in front of me and write it down. So I had sticky notes, random pieces of paper. Sometimes I would throw it into Word. It was a whole mess, especially when it was time to actually look at what I need to look at. So if I'm like, oh, I wrote it down, I was supposed to do this, and I remember I had to do something, but I don't know where I wrote it down. I don't know if I typed it up. I could have left it at work. It was a mess. Having this book has helped me not write things down all over the place. I have one book, I write it down in that book, and that's it. So it definitely has helped me in my productivity as far as knowing where to go when I'm looking for something. So yeah. All right, so the second pro that I have is that for me, I see that it is a great productivity tool and also a great organizing tool. Y'all know what I mean. It's great for organizing. So I'm able to weed out the unrealistic or not so important goals or tasks and just get rid of them. Sometimes when you start writing things over and over again, I haven't done it. It's not that I'm procrastinating. It's just like, I don't need it right now. Why am I writing this down over and over and over again? It's not needed. The third pro that I have is that I am able to see my journey. I'm able to document my journey. So back from, I would say February. Yes, I started in February. So from February till now, I can see what I've been doing. I can see how my mood been changing. I can see literally my entire journey. Whatever I put in that book, I can see my progress throughout the year, I would say, and I can see how much I grew within the year. I think it's great to look at, especially when you're thinking about the past and you want to look at your memories and everything. It's a great way to look at your journey and where you started and where you are now. So the fourth pro I have is that it brings out my creativity. I actually very much enjoy it. It brings me peace. It's kind of my new hobby. It's kind of weird to say since it's supposed to be a productivity organizing tool, but for some reason it just brings me joy of just drawing or even just organizing my week. It keeps me sane. So I love that about it, especially since it has evolved. There's so many different creativity out there in the world, and I can just draw inspiration from it and just do my own thing. And it actually has been one of the self-care methods that I have for myself. So if I need time for myself, I will open up my book, start drawing, coloring if I have to, and just relax and think about my future pretty much. So I definitely enjoy it. And so for the last pro that I have, so I pretty much knew this about myself already. Like I was saying in the beginning, I used to write literally wherever I can, like to get my thoughts out. And since this book is really what it's all about, just organizing your thoughts, getting things out, I realized that I like writing a lot more. And as far as like journaling, a little part of me already, I think I've done it already, but I never really like did it in a proper way. So like I was saying in the beginning, I used to write wherever I can. Like if I need to let my emotions out, sometimes I would just write on a sticky note and tear it up and throw it away. Or I would write or type on Word documents and then delete it, that kind of thing. Because sometimes I just need to release my emotions. And so after I started bullet journaling and just using either brain dump or just having like an entry for myself as far as journaling, it has helped me. I am less angry, I would say. I know that seems kind of weird because I'm always bubbly and happy and smiling and laughing. But when I am sad or when I'm angry, or even if I'm having a good day, but for the most part it's when I'm sad or I just need to let it out. It's a good way for me to journal. And the fact that everything is in one, going back to that first pro, it's just great. So those are my pros. As you can see, I love bullet journaling. And I will continue bullet journaling until I don't like it anymore. But I don't see that happening. So if you're thinking about getting into bullet journaling, let me put my phone down. If you're thinking about getting into bullet journaling, just keep those in mind. Those are my pros and cons. I'm pretty sure there's more out there, but since I've been doing it for about it's almost a year. What day is it? It's the day before Thanksgiving, y'all. So we're pretty much close to the end of the year, and those are the things that I thought about and saw when I was creating my bullet journal. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you find it helpful at least. If you like this video, please remember to give me a big thumbs up. Comment down below, let me know if you're trying to get into bullet journaling or you are bullet journaling, and what are your pros and cons. So yeah. What else do I say at the end? Make sure you subscribe and join the family and hit that bell for post notifications. That way you can see my face again, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace. Alright, so for today's video, I want to talk about the pros and cons of literally every time. What is that? Like, is that fireworks? I don't understand. Every time I record, y'all. Every time.